Hi everybody, we are here at 5505 North 3000 West here in Tetonia, Idaho. This is a very unique piece of property, just over 25 acres with two incredibly well-built structures on the property. I'm going to do a kind of a country road walk towards the latter part of the video today and give you an idea of some of the live water and property features. But for now, I'm going to get you into the structures and give you an idea as to the finishes, square footage, and quality of these. If you want to skip that latter part of the video, you're welcome to. Covered front patio here. These are both cedar-sided, very well-maintained properties. This structure is the cabin. It was constructed in 2007. Floors were recently refinished. It's been very well maintained. This property, this cabin, I should say, is approximately 1,500 square feet, including the loft upstairs. It's one bedroom, one bath, and this here is actually a Murphy bed that folds down. Again, very high quality finishes. Even the cooktop here is a Wolf cooktop, new dishwasher. All of the finishes in these properties are low VOC or water-based finishes, very green materials used throughout the construction of both. The cabinetry is all handmade, birch insets on these cabinets over in this cabin. Incredible views from both structures. Both structures have low E double pane clad windows. Really an artist's flair in both properties and a high quality craftsman feel. The bathrooms in both structures have in-floor heat. Very well insulated. In fact, the studio next door, we'll talk a little bit more about that, is SIPS panel construction. And if you're not familiar with that, it's actually a foam board that creates a thermal break and creates, an additional layer of efficiency, not to mention some of the solar gain aspect of that structure. Run a well and septic on this property. If you're not familiar with the well water in Teton Valley, it's extremely good, clean, clear water. Requires no filtration. This is the mechanical room for the cabin. A sun deck for the eastern views off of the east side of the cabin. Also features tiger wood decking. Low maintenance metal roofs on both structures. Now the studio is slab on grade, and that provides for additional benefits, including kind of a 36-inch wide, might even be a little more, entry door, very accessible, all main floor. Huge amount of light coming in, creates some solar gain, which adds to the efficiency of this already well thought out structure. It's timber frame construction with SIPS panels, so your timber frame gives you your structure and your panels give you your insulation value. The trim in the studio over here is a clear fir. It's just beautifully done. Again, an accessible curbless shower over in the studio. In-floor heat controller. The dowel pin connections, it's really just a high quality. You can feel the craftsman quality build. You can feel the artist's kind of touch to the design here. It's really an incredible structure. Now, the property doesn't stop there. It starts here. A number of benefits and unique attributes to this property. Now, as I walk down this country road, I'm going to be bouncing along. I don't want to pause this video for a couple of reasons. One, I'm using a stabilization arm. And two, I want to show potential viewers who want to continue this video for the next 5 minutes kind of the other benefits of this property. Now, we are on 25 acres. The bulk of the property is north-south, which for a Teton View property is a great benefit because you've got that large plain for taking in the Teton views. Now, the way the owner has set up this property currently, and I'll turn around and give you a overview of the structures from afar, really provides a couple of things. One, accessible to a paved road just at the end of the trees there. This is really going to be beautiful as we get into fall, when the fall colors pop and the leaves begin to fall on the road here. So not a whole lot of maintenance to get into the property. Plus, for those that are looking for kind of their own walking trail for a morning or evening stroll on your own property without, having to load up or deal with the annoyances of not having a walking path from your home. You take your coffee. I'm here at about 10 o'clock on a fall morning. It's a bit brisk, but again, this is just a unique setting to have on your own property. And as you'll see, we have a variety of features that you don't find on very many properties throughout Teton Valley, particularly when we're down here in the flat. A few things you won't find in many properties: these old growth cottonwood trees, the groves of aspen you can see behind the studio and the cabin there, and some live water. Now, the live water on this property is unique in and of itself, and that is it's full now. Now, this is Spring Creek, in addition to a canal that runs through the property. You'll find with many streams and creeks throughout Teton Valley that by late July, August, much of that water has run dry. Part of that is the snow runoff reduces, obviously, as we get into fall. And the other piece of that is farmers divert water from creeks, canals, and streams to use downrange throughout the Snake River Plain. And Spring Creek is unique, and you'll see that here in a moment. We're getting into September here, which it feels like I didn't even have an opportunity to check out August, but as we get into September and we see a full stream, in fact, if we're lucky, we'll even get to see some fish. That is extremely rare for a creek this time of year in Teton Valley. There's a variety of walking trails, as you'll find down here. Again, this stroll that we're doing now is roughly a quarter mile. Variety of terrain, again, some more aspen groves. We are on the eastern boundary of the property, traveling due north. We do have some privacy on the adjacent property. You can see the ground below the aspens here isn't totally grown in. This is a variety of probably wheat and brome grass. Here we'll see our first opportunity to see the neighbor. That's the closest neighbor, which, as you saw from the house, we can hardly see or hear. More views of the Teton Range through the trees here as we continue our stroll. I hope you can tell I'm trying to give you information without running down to the destination here. Another snapshot of the Grand. This road will pretty well maintain itself as long as you make a point to drive down here every once in a while and keep the weeds from growing in. Another point to talk about as we approach the creek here is the maintenance of this property. It's very low maintenance. The owner currently does a mowing of a path that you'll see in a moment, as well as around the property about once per year. That's all it requires. Now, if you wanted to do additional landscape, your culinary well will give you the ability to landscape and water up to a half an acre per the guidelines in Idaho. Now here we are. The property is just a basic step down. You've got a picnic table at the end of the trail here. Then just a small dock, but again, a couple of unique things about Spring Creek. The crystal clear water, that's not hard to come by in Teton Valley, but the clean creek bottom, the groves of willow as we kind of approach the water like we typically see in the waterways in Teton Valley. You'll see tons of wildlife on this property. Now you can see the path I'm walking on now. I'm not sure how easy it is to make out, but again, this was just mowed once per year. That's all it needs. There you can kind of pick up on what the owner has done. Just an incredibly low maintenance, easy to own property, not overwhelming, sustainable, green, well built, high quality. Features of the property are hard to find: live water, trees, vegetation, and of course that four-peak view really sets apart this incredible property. As we conclude the tour here and the additional walking trails, now you could do this all over the property and find areas to explore. Take you to kind of the hidden island here on the property in your very own Teton Valley Beach. Really a fun spot. Thanks for taking the time to walk with me and understand the property here, located just south of Tetonia with great access, Spring Creek. Thank you.